Of the second half, it's 2nd and 16. Wilson for Cortland Sutton, and the ball's taken right away from him, Rex.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising because this kid right here is a big physical receiver, but great play.
Sutton had big numbers yesterday. Texans would have a 9-6 lead in the fourth quarter. Finally, Russell Wilson finds a touchdown here, and they find a way to win. But, RC, this one was not pretty at all.
Yeah, this is a dot. This is one of his best throws of the day. But when you think about the first two games of Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson, this just isn't what they were expecting.
Oh, my goodness, Dan. I mean, it was a lot of the same stuff we saw. For those who didn't see the game, they're still having trouble getting plays called and getting to the line of scrimmage. And it was a hideous display. What did we take away from that performance yesterday, Dan?
The Broncos don't know who they are offensively right now. They don't have an identity or a philosophy. First of all, they got to stop with all their penalties. They got 27 penalties in 2 weeks. Their identity should be Russell Wilson. That's why you traded for him. That's why you gave him all that money. But it seems like you're trying to allow your identity to be something else. And then their philosophy should be very similar to what Green Bay was last night on on Sunday Night Football. Multiple running backs getting the ball out in space, RPOs. And that's not the case right now. It's almost like they are calling plays, hoping that they work, rather than having a very set plan of how to build that game plan and call it. It's like, hey, let's just call this and see if it happens. No, it didn't. Let's try this one. That's an awful place to be.
So, look, it's early, and Nathaniel Hackett is just getting started. But how much of this might be about the quarterback?
A lot of this is about the quarterback. I said it in the offseason, and everyone went crazy. Dan Graziano texted me for a whole weekend. He would text Himbo, get a Russell Wilson stat, then text me and tell me why he was an all-time great. And I said it. He was not an all-time great. And everyone was mad because I talked about the caramel-colored Messiah. But when you look at what this team has been throughout the first 2 weeks, this isn't a team that's run by an elite quarterback. This isn't a team that you're scared of the passing game. And we talked all offseason, and even when they were looking to get Aaron Rodgers, that whoever the quarterback was of this team would have all of these weapons and this explosive offense. Well, you got Russell Wilson, a guy who's a future Hall of Famer, and you scored 13 points against the Houston Texans. Last week was the first sign, right? You kick a 64-yard field goal instead of giving your $256 million quarterback 4th and 5. This week, you can't score within the red zone 2 times, much as you did in Seattle. This is a problem, and if they don't get it fixed, the Bulls will continue to reign.
Yeah, see, here's what they need to do. They need to run what Russell ran in Seattle. Run the heck out of the football, go off of play action. Doesn't need to be the Green Bay Packers, all right? We get it. Hackett, you were brought there. You got the job to bring Aaron Rodgers. By the way, you never got that done.
Yeah.
So now you got Russell Wilson. You need to play to his strength, $244 million. But guess what? You got 2 great running backs. You don't use them. You don't score in the red zone. How about we use them? How about we be more of a run-first team and then run the play action off of it? You have the receivers for it and all that. You need to change, but they have no rhythm in their game.
That ain't why 003 came there.
Zero rhythm in their offense.
That's exactly right. They won the game, but they're anything but a mile high right now. Much more on them as we go, but I got to show you a champion crowned yesterday afternoon as well. While all this was going on, Game 4 of the WNBA Finals, Aces in the Sun, looking for their first championship. Start with 2.
Like the guy that played against Minnesota last season.
7-0. How about them Cowboys later in the quarter? Rex, how about Micah Parsons?
Yeah, let's talk about that rush, and not Cooper Rush, but this kid right here is as good as it gets.
2 sacks.
Freakazoid.
Hit the quarterback 5 times yesterday. Then it's Tony Pollard. We've been waiting to see him get involved, and RC, he did.
Listen, Tony Pollard is what they call in the NO fast, because we don't say very. Watch the explosion, gets him to the 1-yard line.
And then he punches it in. And so the Cowboys have a 14-3 lead. Now they're trying to hang on. 4th quarter. Bengals down 17-9. 4th quarter, 4th down play, and they're looking for Jamar Chase.
We know exactly where this ball was going to go. Jamar Chase with a tough catch, moved the sticks.
Now, Joe Burrow, he had a tough day because his offensive line still stinks, but he found a way to get 2nd down here. He finds T. Higgins in the corner of the end zone, so they're within a 2-point conversion, and now he's got Tyler Boyd wide open for the 2 points, so the Bengals tie it up. Under a minute to go, Rex. Does Cooper Rush have what it takes in the final moment to put together the drive?
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
Oh, my goodness, he does.
He floats that one one.
They were done.
First down for the Cowboys, and then he's looking for C.D. Lamb.
Who knew the cure to Mike McCarthy's clock management issues was Cooper Rush?
And then finally, 3 seconds left. Jerry Jones says, I told you, 1 + 1 = 3. Those 3 from Brett Maher. 50 yards for the win. I didn't think it was good, but it was. Cowboys win it 20-17. Micah Parsons, they win.
We've just been through so much as a team with injuries and one person going down, another person going down, and, you know, all the whispers, the Dallas Cowboys this, the Dallas Cowboys. But, you know, we just bought into each other and said, you know, F what everybody else think. This is about us. And I think we came out here and proved that.
I love it. Everybody at this desk reacted when Micah Parsons said that. You guys, Danny, I'm coming to you in a sec, but you loved what he just said.
Absolutely loved it. But it's funny because I thought they were absolutely done.
Yes.
Because Cooper Rush ain't no Dak Prescott.
Right.
I don't care or whatever. But I will say this. They won that game because of him.
Yeah.
Because of him. He's the best defensive player in the league, like hands down. And so to me, he took it on himself to say, no, all right, I'm going to shut everybody up.
If he just rushed the passer on every snap, what would he do?
Lead the league in sacks and break the all-time sack record.
So, Danny, let's do it. Usually I turn to you for quarterback conversation, but this team yesterday was led by that guy, number 11. Show me how he did it.
And dominant off the edge. And Rex is right. They won the football game because of him. He was the best player in the NFL yesterday, and his ability to totally wreck offensive game plans and wreak havoc on an offensive scheme is incredible. And you look at 3rd and 4. I mean, that's him off the edge. They don't block him. They don't even try to handle the protection. This is him up at top. It's 1st and 15. And it's one-on-one versus a left tackle. There's no shot that you are going to block him one-on-one with the left tackle. Now he's down at the bottom of the screen. They've got to create one-on-one matchup. Spin, plays over. I mean, here's the thing, Greeny. Joe Burrow is not absolved of any type of performance right now, but Micah Parsons and the way that Dan Quinn is using him to not only free him up, but to make sure he's in position to end the game, wreck the game, is one of the most impressive things going on in the NFL this early season.
And look, I'm not the kind of person who ever says, I told you so.
Yes, you are.
Who am I kidding? I'm exactly that person who tells you that. Honestly, I had Rex telling me, Marcus Spears telling me, everyone, Cowboys are dead, Cowboys are dead. The Cowboys have life through week 2.
Greeny, this is what we know about you. You've been a Jets fan your whole life.
Yes.
You're nothing if not optimistic, right? Because you would have jumped out of the window if you weren't.
That's right.
And you also want the show to continue and us to be able to talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
But you were exactly right. Maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is a little better than we thought, and that's why the Dallas Cowboys didn't perform last week. There's no pass rusher in the league that has as many pass rusher wins as Micah Parsons, and it's not his full-time position. When you think about what this team was able to do defensively, it shows the next step in the progression of who Dan Quinn is as the defensive coordinator of this team. And yesterday they played with passion, they played with heart, and Cooper Rush came out, and I believe he actually gave them a lift. Sometimes when you go to the backup, the rest of the team understands they have to take a step up. We got to block better. We got to rush better. We got to catch the football better. And we saw all of those things from the Dallas Cowboys. This is one of the biggest and best games they played.
Yeah, I look at this is why I said that you're not going to go out and trade for a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, like you're not going to mortgage your future for now because, look, if this guy can win half the games and get it to where Dak Prescott is, that's fine. I still think it's over because I'm not that impressed with that team.
Well, I mean they're
I'm really
that
not,
impressive.
But that this Micah Parsons, like,
Eagles could lose. Eagles could easily lose tonight to Minnesota, and then the Cowboys get the Giants on Monday Night Football next week. The Cowboys could be sitting in first place of the division by the time we wake up next Tuesday morning. Now, Dan, having just said that, let's move to the next quick order of business here. Joe Burrow. I mean, the world fell in love with this kid, and for all the right reasons last year as he led Cincinnati to the Super Bowl. But if anything, their offensive line looks worse. What happened in Cincinnati?
Yeah. 90% of what's happening in Cincinnati is directly tied to their bad offensive line. He's on track for 111 sacks. He got 52 last year, folks. And this offensive line is getting him hit faster this year than he did last year. There's moments, Greeny, where you sit there and go, that first clip that I showed, Micah Parsons comes unblocked. That's our plan. We're going to make sure that everybody else on the Cowboys defense is blocked but Micah Parsons, and then we're going to solo block him a ton. So I don't love what they're doing protection schematically wise. But there's also moments that he has been hit so much that when they do actually have good protection, he plays so sped up because he's anticipating the pressure getting to him that you sit there and go, that's not the same guy right now. He'll get there, but he is very much so allowing the pressure to dictate how he's playing. He's feeling the rush.
We will come back to them. There's a lot more to say about Joe Burrow, who obviously became one of the huge stars in the NFL. But I'm not going anywhere else until I show you what happened yesterday in Cleveland. Here we go. Jets and Browns. Joe Flacco. We begin with just over 2 minutes.